Hey everyone, so finally going to be making my way towards the second floor of Labyrinth. We're going to be doing all these floors. I'm doing these videos in bulk because I'm going on a trip and you guys are probably going to be seeing these back to back to back, just so I have content out there. And obviously this is probably something I should have put out a long time ago. It's just the fact that I had to have the stamina for each video in itself, which is there's going to be 10 because there's 10 on each floor, 100 floors in total, or 100 stages in total, 10 per floor. Yeah, so math. It takes 200 stamina per video, so that's just a lot of stamina that I had to save up, and I've been waiting on like the right time to do it, and I guess it would be now because again I'm going on a trip. It just makes the most sense. So looking here, we have floor 2, which is going to be stages 11 through 20. We have about roughly 3 missions. Missions you kind of have to go out of your way for. I don't know if there's any missions for just like clearing the waves, as you go, but missions you have to go out of your way for, which is going to be 15. On stage 15, you have to beat in under 2 minutes, and as well as on stage 20, I believe it's create a party of 4 more human characters. We'll talk a little bit about that later, as well as clearing with the OG General Pool Anastasia, the green one. So if you have her, go ahead and put her on a team. And it's been a while since I've cleared the stages. I was so sure I did floor 2 already, but it turns out I only made one of these videos, so that's pretty pathetic on my part. So hopefully we can blitz through these in the upcoming days. Starting here, I guess this is the team I used before. You probably want to put Ryan on the team if you have him. He's pretty good at this. Ryan, he's pretty good for AoE. Krush as well for the counter. Basically, stage 2 isn't really something you need to be like super provocative about. Like you don't really have to think all too much because stage 2 is just stage 2. It's really easy, unless you're a newer player, which in case you probably shouldn't be doing Labyrinth, just because Labyrinth is really made for you to have your box built out. Like if you want to skim by like really quick, then by all means go for it. You can probably do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and actually build a team here. That way we're able to use them throughout the fight. So probably, Krush, honestly all I need is this Ryan and Anastasia, but I guess we just throw on a Krush there just because why not. We'll just give her whatever memory. And then yeah, so the limit again on this floor is gonna be nothing but humans, so just use all of your humans. The floor will automatically store your box, so you don't have to do it manually. These are all the characters you can't use, and then on the top as well you can use all of these characters. So as well, there's a lot of humans that are free to play as well. The general pool has plenty of them, so again, this is not something you should be thinking about like as a newer player. Ryan is one of the best units in the game for free to play wise, but you really have to be a little bit of mid to end game player to really get the full use out of him. So really take your time with this. It's not that big of a deal. Ryan's just going to clean up really well. We have Krush and Therezia, which is great single target damage, as well as Ryan. But Ryan's like the main guy here just because of how built out he is for me. And then Anastasia has some great support. You don't really need any specific teams here. Free to play Subaru is really good, but again, like you really don't need any specific units. I believe Labyrinth doesn't really get hard until you're like stage, I want to say maybe 3, but I'm pretty sure it's like stage 4 and up that it actually starts to get harder. I remember because Labyrinth was insanely easy, and then as soon as we hit like one more floor, it just like became like the hardest thing in the world for no reason. Not really, but it did become a lot harder, and like as soon as I felt that, I was like, oh, these later stages are gonna be really a pain in the ass because I know what they're gonna do. Sega loves just making really stupid, overpowered shit to fight against. It's super annoying, but it is what it is. So as long as you belt out your box, and obviously you get tickets because of the current event that's out. So if you have like a subjugation event and you want to find something that burns stamina on, and you've been putting this off, then you can just go ahead and run Tower or Labyrinth, I guess, and you can just do that. So yeah, that's another use for it. As well as you can probably farm affinity to a certain extent here. I wouldn't recommend it because it's 20 stamina, as well as most of the towers or stages are just limited. But I mean, like it's very niche. Like I don't think I've ever talked to someone that ever farms affinity. Like the only reason I did it on that one Daphne stage is because you can just do the easiest one. and then use whatever you want. And then if it's a 1 stamina, you spend as many skip tickets as you need at Affinity. And Affinity doesn't even give you anything. Like, I just did it because I wanted to flex. I don't even know what stage we're on. I think we're on this stage. Actually, I think it switches my team out if I clear the stage, right? Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So we are on this stage. Stage 14. It's super easy. Like, I'm just here talking. It's basically a commentary video. Again, there's really no point to be super stressed about. I think 2 and 3. I think 4, I'm pretty sure 4 is where it gets a little bit rough, and that's when strategy is going to have to come into play. And it's been a while since I've actually done Labyrinth, so I kind of forgot all the hard stages. I know there's this one crazy stage. I think it was stage 75. I have a video on it. It was one of the stages. It was just insanely hard, so I'll have to like relearn strategies to beat those stages in order to do it like on one try, because I don't really like editing my videos. So one attempt is kind of like all I really aim for in these, which is really good for the early stages, but not so much for the later ones. So here we are, stage 15. Remember, our only mission here is to beat in under 2 minutes. I think you're only allowed to use a Rhine here. Yeah, you're only allowed to use a Lab Rhine, and obviously giving him his attack memory is probably going to be your best bet. I remember doing this like when my Rhine, your Rhine does not have to be built up like at all. I cleared a lot of these solo Rhine stages, just him like super non-built. Like a lot of players were telling me to have him like to a certain extent built, and I beat it under that. I don't know how you would want to call it under than that, under the line of what you need. I don't know words, but yeah, it made me really simple. Beat it under 2 minutes, pretty easy. Even if your Rhine, isn't built, I'm like he will beat it. Trust me, it's not that big of a deal. Just go ahead and auto it. And then we have the rest of the stages. We don't really have anything to worry about until we get to those last stage, that very last stage. I believe it's clear with 4 humans. Not sure why you would need. I'm not sure why there's a mission like that, because the team size is 4, so you of course you want it as a 4. Maybe if like the team size was 5 and having 5 units would make it easier. That's why the challenge is to only use 4 or something like that. But like it's just like basically just have a max party. it's pretty weird. I don't understand why they would say that, because I'm pretty sure the entire floor is limited, so like you're not going to be able to even use anything other than humans. So I don't know. It's a weird mission. It's basically just clear the stage. It's basically the mission. And then again, we have to run that Anastasia. So I'm gonna have to switch off the blue Anastasia here in a bit. Go switch teams. Do that. Pretty simple overall. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, I'm pretty much run out of things to talk about at this point. The stages aren't too big of a deal. You have these bosses or these enemies that stance a lot. Some revive, so just be aware of that. I mean, the DPS that you should be outputting here is pretty good, so it's not that big of a deal. Once we get into the later stages, that's when you'll really need to learn the enemy's abilities and stuff like that. But for now, you can kind of just get away with doing whatever you want. Everything's just very weak. Ryan's just going to one-shot everything. Also, he gets that extra turn whenever you kill something, I believe, from the attack memory. So it's just good for speedrunning content. If you something like this, obviously just one shot and then just one shot again. It's similar to the AOE Rhine, but I think AOE Rhine just has a lot of cooldown. That's why he doesn't really work too well. And also, I just wanted to use Labyrinth Rhine because he's basically this is his event, so I just kind of wanted to do showcase, might as well, right? And I think he's probably my best human unit. It just makes the most sense. Then we have, I think we're on stage 19. I could be wrong. Yeah, we're on stage 19. All right, one more. Then we got the missions. I hope I don't forget to use Anastasia. Pretty sure I won't. Almost cleared. Against that guy usually spawns with a stance. Not that big of a deal. Just kill him. I'm pretty sure you can just take it off him too as well. I don't think any of these enemies having like insane like debuff immunity or resistance to like really anything. I think bosses might, but a majority of the time they can all be defense down, and that's like one of the best debuffs in the game because of the 70% defense down. That's a lot of defense, and you just be doing a lot of damage. And if you have DPS, then you're pretty much set. The main draw from these, or the main difficulty from these, really comes from people just not having these characters built. You know, these some of the time you really need a lot of niche characters, and sometimes you just don't have it built. So this was the team I ended up running. Oh, okay, full green team. Is that what it is? And then obviously you can, okay, so you can run green anything, and then obviously you need the 4 humans. So we're gonna go and switch out. We're gonna create a team for this. Obviously we're gonna want Subaru because he's human and he's an attack leader, as well as being free to play and farmable in the dungeon. He's probably gonna be your best bet for a leader here. I'm gonna go ahead and give him probably just this attack memory, something really simple. Krush is gonna be probably our best DPS. If you have the dress Krush, she is a great DPS as well. She's a little outdated, but like for this piece of content, she should be pretty solid. I'm looking for an attack memory. I'll just run this one because it's pretty. Let's give her the fully built up one. This one's not leveled up. Then we're gonna go full human so we can get all the missions cleared in this video. We can run. I don't know if Felt is human. I don't think she's human. We're run Krush. Then we're gonna run Anastasia for the last mission. So not only do you have to run full humans, you also have to run this Anastasia as well. Labyrinth, again, Labyrinth has more than enough materials. There are extra missions that you actually don't need to clear, and they will give you like extra materials for Ryan. So you actually don't need all the units. It would have really sucked because a lot of these units are kind of paywall to a certain extent. Yeah, they're on the general pool, but you still need to pull these units. So them giving us extra missions in case we don't have certain units, we can just do the other missions instead, giving us bonus materials. That's really nice. I was really upset about like certain units that I didn't have, like the Priscilla. You guys know that I always really wanted the Priscilla to, you know, in order to clear some of the Labyrinth missions. I actually didn't need her because there's other missions that I can do instead of having the Priscilla. It's kind of like it's kind of like you customize missions to your box. You can just do the ones that you know, for the units that you have and stuff like that. So it's really nice. Like again, floor 2, you don't really have to worry about anything. It's easy boss. You know, I came in with a level 1 unit. It's not that big of a deal. It's only floor 2, stage 20. It's not going to be too hard. As you can see, there's one little unit who's barely dented me. You can literally just have one built unit. I'd say maybe until stage 4, then you're probably going to need to start spreading your box actually like the game is intended. Also, you probably just need like a full team of those characters as well. Like you can't just have one solid human unit and then like 3 duds, at least in the future. So yeah, make sure you have your box really stretched out. But yeah, that's gonna do it. We covered all the missions, we covered all the floors or all the stages. Next, we're gonna be doing stage or floor 3. I have to get used to the floors and stages. You get a total of these materials, and then at certain points you also unlock with the EX stages, so make sure you do those every day. They're a daily thing. These are one-time clear, but yeah, so that's gonna do it for floor 2. I'll see you guys for floor 3 in the next video, and yeah, later.